After specializing in certain areas, you become expert in overall management.
Okay.
Overall management means you have to take decisions on various factors of management. That includes personnel, that includes finance, that includes technical, that includes even coordinating with the ministries, that includes with the parliament where the questions emerge day in and day out in the session.
Okay.
So you have to be an expert, like you say, jack of all trades.
What's up, people? My name is Ankit Dwal. Welcome to Mountwood Studio Show. Do you know how to run a design business successfully? No? I can teach you. Stay tuned because what's coming next can change your entire life. So, we are back with another episode, and as usual, we are having a very special guest. For me, he's my uncle, but for others, he's a very reputed person. According to my age, he's having his own experience. Currently, I'm 28, and he's having this much kind of experience with him. So, without any further delay, let me introduce to my uncle, Mr. Kapoor. Hello.
Hey. Hello, fine, thank you.
So, Uncle, as I'm having my design community and we are having certain questions with us, your experience in my links is very greater, and I don't find a suitable person to answer these questions. Any else, you are the only right person who can take these questions and resolve them. And your experience is what I'm looking for, so that I can gain the insights and how to basically solve certain problems. Because 28 years of experience is huge.
It's not only 28 years of experience, it is rather more than 35 years of experience.
Oh, 35 years of experience.
More than 35 years.
More than 35 years.
And in various spheres, various areas. Like HRD is my specialization, that is one. In that area, I can throw light on any factor you feel interested in. Then I have done journalism and translation also,
Okay.
from English to Hindi and vice versa. Plus, I have administrative experience in the government undertakings, and local bodies also. So, you feel free to ask me any questions.
Sure, definitely. This is why I am here, because as I've already said, your insights and your knowledge cannot be found anywhere else. Because your personal experience, we are just a seed right now, and you have fully grown. You are like a fully grown tree who is ready to share his knowledge and shadow to
Certainly,
others.
by all means.
Yeah.
Yes, certainly by all means. Yes.
So let's.
Kindly feel free to ask me anything about any, because management is what I am qualified for, and I have been doing it all my life.
Sure, definitely. And I think our listeners will enjoy this session.
Sure.
So let's start, as you have already given your brief introduction. Let's get in detail to that, what you have done and how you have started from your childhood to right now.
First of all, I had done my graduation in college from Hindu College, Amritsar. Then I went for a job as an assistant in the railways. That is headquarters of Northern Railway, as I had stood first in the panel of 380 candidates
Okay.
who had qualified and who have been selected. So since I was first in the panel, so I was given an option to join anywhere. So they posted me in the head office, in the policy wing.
So from the starting only, you have excelled in your
Sure,
education
sure.
as well as in while pursuing for the government job.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there were times when we used to study in the evenings. There were evening university classes.
Okay.
So I joined one or the other. Wherever I could get admission, I started doing it.
So this was during your job period time, or
During job period time itself.
Okay.
First of all, I qualified 2 exams in the railways itself, departmental exams.
Okay.
Those departmental exams were only relevant in the case of railway administration.
Okay.
So I qualified both of them in the first attempt itself.
Okay.
After that, I was given 4 increments or the next stage. After that next stage, I thought okay, I'll get some promotion. But that was not available. By that time, I had put in about 10 years of service.
Okay.
That after 10 years of service, I don't get promotion. What I did was, I thought I must enhance my qualifications. I must add to my qualifications. After 10 years of experience and after having qualified for these 2 exams, I am nowhere as my career was. So what I did was, I again joined university.
So after your 10 years of experience of job
Yes.
and giving so much to the government, and you were not getting what you wanted.
What I expected to get.
Okay, what you expected.
Yes. So then what I started looking for another job.
Okay.
I was selected to work as a senior assistant in the government undertaking under the Ministry of Agriculture. At that time it was food and agriculture. So there I was selected.
Okay.
There also I stood first. So then after joining, they said, okay, we want your experience on the personal side.
Okay.
So I thought it is better to get qualification in that sphere because specialization is something which is asked for. Then I joined my final, that is post graduation in HRD
Okay.
in Delhi University itself because I was posted in Delhi and it was very convenient. It was evening classes. So I qualified that also. After 2 years, 2.5 years, I qualified.
Okay.
And after that, they posted me in the personnel division itself.
Okay.
So I started learning the tricks of the trade practically. And that is how I started acquiring experience in various areas of personnel management.
Okay. So like now you're saying very calmly and peacefully, but what you expected and you were not getting. What was your mental level at that time? Because right now, if I'm not getting certain things, and it's like natural to me, I'm curious why I'm not getting. I think a lot. What was your mental state at that time?
I had acquired the maturity of an officer because I was posted again in the head office of the organization wherever I worked. So in the head office there are certain problems which are very relevant in the field areas, but their policy decisions are done in the head office itself. So all those areas of problems like labor trouble, like or other. So that was what was required, and since I had qualified for that also, and with my 10 or more years of experience, I could settle them and I could guide my management to do like this, how to manage it, how to overcome those problems. So I was very precisely laying down the policies how to manage those affairs.
So
Transfers, postings, selection, all areas of personnel management create certain problems. So if you like, I can give you certain examples also.
sure. I will love to hear you.
So those problems are first of all selection. So in those days, to find suitable qualified persons was very easy. If you invited certain applications or certain candidates for 10 posts, there were thousands.
So how it is easy?
So
Like this is the current scenario right now. If I'm a designer and I have applied to a certain company, to a creative studio, and there are thousands of applications, but only 10 needs to be get selected.
So first of all, it is like a triangle. First of all, you have to invite most of them who are having basic qualifications.
Okay.
Then we sort them out how they are suitable age wise, qualification wise, and who are the best according to our.
Okay.
After sorting them out, we put them to a certain test which are based on the working areas of our requirement. After that, you sort it. After certain tests, we find out that these are the best possible. Then, after that, we call for the interviews, and then we judge it how they can respond to certain situations in the practical areas. That is how we sort those.
Okay.
And then we manage a panel. And those panels, suppose we want 10 immediately, we call the first 10, and then we keep the panel live for say a year or two.
Okay.
That is how we proceeded like.
So finding the best of the best suitable person for the job is what you were looking for, and this is the procedure
Yeah.
that you have followed.
Yeah.
Okay. And as you have mentioned that you were surrounded by the officers and you have gained certain maturity.
Certainly.
So what kind of problems you were facing? Like what? Give me a certain scenario for this, and how you resolved them.
I remember a particular incident. In those times, we had no cement companies here.
Okay.
Cement was being imported by ship.
This is the location.
The location is all those Bombay, etc.
Okay.
Port areas.
Port area.
Basically, port areas. Ships used to come in the docks, and the transportation of that cement from the ship to the places where it was required was in itself a challenge.
Okay.
So we required about hundreds of people, and we wanted them to be with science qualifications, with technical qualifications, plus with physical acumen, so that they could manage the labor. They could handle the management, and that was part of the management to handle those areas which are required to be in touch with the labor class.
Okay.
So they had to have certain amount of human resource development also in them. So we first of all we had a meeting with the staff officers and with those people who are managing those warehouses, where these were to be first stored and then transported. So all areas of transportation, then labor, then handling, then transport again to the areas where they are required, the goods were required or the cement was required. We had to see which are the basic qualifications for which we should have certain person. After doing that, we had to then make selections. Selection in itself has a very great problem in itself in Indian situations, because if you ask, you will get 10 recommendations, certain from the administration, then politician, then officers itself in the organization. These are our relatives and this and all that. This is what you are seeing now also. And it continues to be like that. So certainly all those areas had to be taken care of. You couldn't appoint just now only on merit. You had to see everything. And after managing all those things, we had to select the best.
Yes.
Because you are working for an organization which is required to be run very efficiently. So that is how so many problems used to crop up
Okay.
day in and day out, at the time of test, at the time of interview, at the time of posting also. So all those areas had to be kept in mind. Constantly we had to work on them.
Okay. So
And not only that, we had to convince our senior heads of department also, so far as finance is concerned, how you will handle it, so far as their medical situations and their own personal life also. Suppose they want leave after some time, how you are going to post in place of them.
okay.
So all these areas required to be planned,
Okay.
and after planning you had to execute it.
Okay. Okay. And you have opted this planning, implementation, and management in your personal life also?
Obviously, Obviously.
Mhm.
You have to work with so many other officers also.
Mhm.
Like finance is one, very important.
Mhm.
Technical is the other. So there are so many areas which you had to keep in mind while doing anything.
Okay.
From management angle, you have to create certain situations where everybody agrees to what you say is right or not.
Okay.
You don't have to annoy anybody who is your boss.
Okay. Like, and you started with Amritsar and then got shifted to Delhi
Delhi,
and then Mumbai.
then Bombay, and various other places also. In Delhi itself, suppose now it was my personal problem. By that time, I had got married.
How it is a personal problem?
Personal problem is that I was married to a teacher.
Okay.
She was posted in Delhi government.
Okay.
Then I didn't want to shift myself
From Mumbai?
from Delhi.
Okay, from Delhi.
I had come back to head office in Delhi itself.
Okay.
So after that, I thought I must stick myself to Delhi only. Postings in Delhi.
Okay.
Now after that, I found that now they have to promote me as senior class 1 or class 1 in class 1. So I shall have to go out, which I didn't want to because of my personal
Okay.
problems.
Mhm.
After that, I thought, why shouldn't I go on deputation to some other department?
Okay.
So I chose Delhi administration,
Mhm.
Delhi undertaking.
Okay.
I was selected obviously because of my experience and qualifications always stood by me.
Mhm.
So that is how I got myself on deputation to Delhi government
Okay.
administration. There also I was very successful and I managed everything.
Mhm.
There it was a mining situation.
Okay.
Mining means again management, transportation, etc. So there also my work experience was very handy.
Mhm.
But they again posted me for framing the rules and all those regulations.
Okay.
So I was given part of that job and part of this management.
Okay. And what was the age when you got married and you got shifted back to Delhi and then you decided that I will stay here only?
That was around 34, 35.
And what was the year? Which year right now?
It was around 1980.
1980.
Yeah.
I was not born at that time.
No, that is the difference.
Yeah, that is why you are the correct person, and I wanted to have a conversation because we really sit with an experienced person.
You have had many experiences with many people who are maybe many more qualified than, much more qualified than what I am. But every person has a specialization in. These days are of specialization. But after certain stage, you have to become a generalist.
I have one question on this.
Sure, sure.
In my last interview, my friend came from US. He has been working in Bose company, Bose Corporation, who makes speakers and
Yes, yes.
they are
Music,
one worldwide.
music.
Yeah.
They are specializing in music instruments.
And every time I have this question whether you should specialize in or to generalize. He gave an example of his mentor with whom he was working. He was having around 20 years of experience working with the batteries. And then he said, I'm good with the batteries only, but if I'm given some other task, I will lack in this. So what you have to say about this? Like you just now said, I was specialized, you got qualified for many opportunities which were given or the task you performed very well and you excelled in that. And now you are saying that you have to generalize.
After specializing in certain areas, you become expert in overall management.
Okay.
Overall management means you have to take decisions on various factors of management. That includes personnel, that includes finance, that includes technical, that includes even coordinating with the ministries, that includes with the parliament from where the questions emerge day in and day out in the session.
Okay.
So you have to be an expert, like you say, jack of all trades.
Okay.
Then, after acquiring specialization in one field, you acquire experience in other areas also, which are connected with the organization for which you are working.
Okay.
So that is how you become a general manager, or a manager who is managing everything from the top.
Okay.
That is called general. That you have to take decision on everything, because it depends on the success or failure of a organization for which you are working.
Okay.
That is how you amalgamate all your experience, and that becomes handy when you manage things.
This is something like I have to grasp because I have been studying a lot about the specialization, and we are going in that direction only and becoming an expert. And like it's also very deep when you said that when you become an expert, you have to take certain decisions and manage everything.
Yes.
And for that, you have to acquire that knowledge.
Yes.
So in that area, you are saying that we have to generalize.
Yes.
And you have gained so many knowledge, years of experience. What are the life lessons you have learned? There might be many, I know.
You see, it's very difficult to, in such an interview, to explain these. Books could be written about it.
Yeah.
Because the experiences are so varied and so rich. That is the amalgamation of the character of an officer. The basic traits of qualifications and experience and all that you have learnt in your life in, say, the service of about 50 years. At the age of 50, you have become a general manager.
Okay.
You can be given any assignment for anything. भाई ये CBI का केस आ गया है, इसको हैंडल करना है.
Okay.
आप चले जाओ और ये फाइलें ले जाओ और उनका सेटिस्फाई करे हो.
Okay.
So that is how you are required to act in various situations in various fields. But your general qualifications, your experience, and your expertise in various areas becomes in handy at that time. When you are given some certain special situations, you can handle them very easily. But if you are not competent to handle it, that means you are not expert to handle. It is the area with which you have acquired experience that also is very helpful.
Okay.
And interpersonal relationship, after working with technical people, after working with experts of finance, after working with the technical field, after working with scientists, after working or coming in contact with labor unions, you have acquired all those, and in a nutshell you become a generalist.
Okay.
And that general knowledge or your maturity becomes in very handy to handle any situation you are put in.
Okay. And coming to this, some people say that they have difficulty or stressful experience, but they have learned certain lessons from this, and it can vary from person to person.
Obviously, your personality becomes in very handy. If you have varied experiences which come in very handy in such a situation, I was given this and I handled it like that. So that comes in very handy and you became stress free. Okay, how you have to handle it, you know how to handle it.
And stress is a part of life.
Stress is definitely a part of life to an extent, but it should not be overpowering.
You have to.
You have to face stress
Face.
every day in and day out. Stress is a part of life.
Okay.
You have to handle it. But if you have the wherewithal to handle it, then you don't come under the stress. Then you handle it very efficiently and you are free from stress.
Okay, let's take a scenario on this. Let's suppose I have given a problem and it's been weeks or 2 weeks has been passed, but daily in my organization I have given some task and the problem is not being resolved. The stress is there and I'm feeling very unmotivated. How you will motivate a person and how you will resolve his problem? Let's take an example. for this. Let's go. Suppose I have given, what task should we take?
Let me
Yeah.
give you an example for this. It so happened that a person
Mhm.
was selected in Maharashtra government.
Okay.
He was working with us very efficiently. We didn't want to lose. He approached me personally.
Okay.
Sir, I want to. And he explained his position, telling me that he has been selected for an officer job there. And my job is for 2 years, I cannot resign. So now how you can help me? I said, well, let me think over it and then I'll give you my advice. After a day, he came to me, sir, they have said that if you don't join this week, the offer will be cancelled. Then I wanted to consult my general manager at the head office. He was not available. He had gone to certain training course in Russia.
Okay.
So I had to take a decision. Then I came to know that if I don't help this chap, he will not get his due in the career. I'll be responsible for spoiling his career. I wrote on the file that since GM is empowered to do it, but he happens to be on there, and the career of the person is at stake, he may be relieved and policy will be decided on the resumption of duties by our general manager.
Okay.
He was happy. He had been selected. He had gone there. And after the GM came, he asked me, how you have done it? I told him, explained, sir, his career was at stake. So I didn't want to disappoint a young man who was brilliant enough to be selected as an officer. So he said, okay. So in that process, ex post facto sanction was the way out. So that is how we managed it.
Okay.
So had I not done it, it would have been very stressful for me as well as
For
the
him
person concerned. Or there might have been a union strike or something which might have hampered. That is what I explained to my general manager. Sir, had I not taken a decision regarding it, they might have gone on strike and the whole work might have suffered. So that is how, in the interest of both of the situations, I had decided to relieve him.
Okay.
That is how we used to handle such things. And that is how what people should do, because they should suppose that they are working as general managers. Had you been in a GM's post or in that position, what you would have decided?
Okay.
That is how you should take responsibility. Don't come under the stress, but what is the way out which is best suitable for and beneficial for the organization as well as the individual. That is one example. I can give you so many examples like this which have come to my. They form part of the experience.
That is what I'm here for.
Yeah.
Listen to you.
Yeah.
Because with the scenarios and with the experience, we get to know a lot, and from this only we get mature by talking and surrounding ourselves. It is said that if your future will be decided with whom you are having the surroundings, and if you don't find a suitable person, it's better to be alone and look for the opportunities, or what I can say, look for the people over the internet or surroundings with whom you can share your knowledge and thoughts so that you can grow.
Certainly, when you work in the field or in the given areas where you are required to work, it is not only that area. You have to have discussions with your fellows, with your fellow officers, with your other branch heads, or with others, so that they can give you their experience, their feedback also about how they are handling their situations. So that is how you become more experienced or more mature.
Okay.
For example, I tell you, there is a case. Whenever I went after my day was over, I found a man used to sit outside on the bench, and he would just stand up and Namaste, sir. I used to just Namaste, bhai, and I would walk off. After 4 or 5 days, I said, bhai, why you are sitting here? Where you are working? And he told me, sir, I have been working at Ratnagiri, that is away from Bombay. And I have been sitting here. I want to meet you. I want to make a request. I said, why you are sitting here for the last 4 or 5 days? I see you daily. Sir, the PN told me that Saab is very busy. You can't meet him.
Okay.
When I was going out, I said, you come back. Sit. I called for a cup of tea. Soothed him. Made him comfortable. Said, yes. What is your problem? Why you are sitting here for? Said, my mother is sitting down with cancer. And I have to manage her hospitalization and all that. At the warehouse which I am working with, there is no hospital, and I want a transfer to that place. Said, okay. Said, ji, sir, and he touched my feet and all that. He said, okay, sir, my mother's life is at stake, so you kindly help me. I couldn't do it on my own because RM was out. I needed his approval.
Okay.
But in the interest of the worker, I said, you come tomorrow and get those orders and you can go and join. When my boss came, he said, how you have done it?
So you are getting in the same situation.
Same situations.
Okay.
I said, sir, just see, he is a motivated, very good worker. I have examined all his CRs for the last 5 years.
Okay.
I have seen he is a dedicated worker. And if we don't help him at this juncture, he will lose interest in the job. And he will become a lower than average worker. Since he is a proven dedicated worker, I have done it in the interest of the person as well as the organization.
Okay.
At that time he was convinced and he said, it's okay. I approved.
Okay. And like this is the second example you are giving.
Yes.
The way
Again, you see, what happens is that you have to see the benefit of the organization plus the welfare of the person who is a dedicated worker.
Okay.
Now, if these two things are satisfied, then you can take a decision. You assume that you are the decision taker itself,
Okay.
and you are helping the general manager or the managing director or the chairman in taking a decision. The inputs are to be given by me only.
Okay.
And on the basis of those inputs, the chairman or the whosoever is the decision taker has to take a decision. So I am only helping him take a judicious decision.
Okay.
So that is how I am satisfied. And they are also convinced that yes, whatever decision he has done is okay for the organization, okay for the individual also.
Okay.
So that is how I have been managing things.
Okay. And what was the reaction when your senior officers came and got to know that this decision has been not taken by them but by you? What was the first reaction that they gave?
First reaction in some cases was that they were annoyed. How you have taken it? Then I could only explain to them how and in what is the process which I have adopted in taking this decision and why it was so hurriedly to be taken.
And you were not scared by taking the decisions?
Certainly not.
Okay.
Certainly not. I assumed myself I am to take it. I assumed myself to be the head of the department or head of the organization. So I have to take a decision. And in taking that decision, inputs have to be given by me only. And those inputs, if I am satisfied, obviously my boss will be ultimately when I convince him and explain it to him how and why I have taken the decision, they were convinced.
Okay.
And later on they appreciated it also.
Okay. So this is how we handle any situation.
Any given situation has certain ins and outs. certain things you have to see. You have to be intelligent enough and you have to be reasonably working on that. You should examine all those factors. And after you have examined all those factors, you will come to know that what should be the decision. What would be the logical conclusion.
Okay.
After going into those areas of all those things, you come to a conclusion, yes, this should be the decision. You examine all those factors.
Okay.
And if you are satisfied, say there are 5 points,
Okay.
you satisfy 4 points, you take a decision.
Okay.
You assume yourself you are a general manager, and ultimately you are going to occupy that position also. So why not take a decision?
Okay.
You should be basically convinced that this decision is the right decision under the given circumstances.
Okay, because many people, including me, earlier I was scared to take the decisions. But now that the scenario has been different as I'm handling a lot of things. But there are certain people who are scared from taking the decisions, whether things will go wrong. They think a lot. What
They
will
think
this?
a lot, but they should be very, very particular about how to take a decision.
Mhm.
Decision taking is a process,
Okay.
and that is what you learn all your life.
Mhm.
Experience is one thing, qualifications are basic, but the situations you are given, you have to analyze those situations.
Mhm.
The situations in every case are very different.
Okay.
So you have to examine those situations. In what situation, what are the factors which you are required to examine.
Okay.
After examining those areas, after examining those reasons, after examining those situations, you analyze. And after you analyze it, you come to a conclusion.
Okay.
And those conclusions are, since they are based on the situation examination and analysis, your decisions are likely to be that. Then why should you shirk from taking a decision? If you are convinced that these are the right decisions,
Mhm.
and you are able to convince your directors,
Okay.
chairman, or whosoever is your boss,
Mhm.
they will never be annoyed with you. Why should you be scared of taking a decision? That means you should assume yourself to be the decision taker.
Okay.
But the process should be very thorough, and it should not be based on any personal considerations.
Okay. So personal considerations should be avoided.
Obviously,
Okay.
it should be in the interest of the organization, it should be in the interest of the individual as well.
Mhm.
It should be beneficial for both.
Okay.
Then there is no need to be scared.
Okay.
You should be very bold to take a decision. That is the quality of a successful officer,
Mhm.
because he is working for this organization or the ministry or wherever he is working.
Okay.
He has to justify whatever he is doing is in the best interest of both. So that is the basis.
Okay. And this is very helpful.
Obviously.
Because you won't be getting this kind of knowledge anywhere else. Because I haven't met persons right now who have given me this advice. I'm in the process of gaining the knowledge and experience from others, so that I can take decisions, live a stressful life. My decisions give insights, better insights as well as fruitful results.
Obviously, that is the very purpose of management.
Mhm.
The very purpose of management is to manage things efficiently and in the interest of the organization, of the country, or the wherever you are working. You are working for a very specific purpose.
Correct.
That purpose should be achieved
Okay.
without coming in conflict with any other body or any other person.
Mhm.
So that is the very reason that you are a manager.
Mhm.
If you have to manage things, you are a manager.
Okay.
And if you are managing it under stress, or you are scared of taking a decision, that means you are not qualified for that thing.
Mhm.
If you are a successful manager, you have to assume the responsibilities and you have to discharge those responsibilities with a clear conscience. You should be conscious.
Okay.
You have your clear conscience. You have to take a right decision, then there will be no stress.
Okay.
You are successful and you are likely to get the appreciation also. So there is no need to come under stress and to see that no, I am not competent to do it. Why you are not competent? Anybody is competent enough. Suppose tomorrow you are promoted as managing director or GM, you have to take a decision. Assume yourself you are there. And how a DM or GM will discharge it, or how a GM will take a decision, you are also competent to take a decision. And you have certainly to convince your GM that how I have taken this decision, sir, and this is how it is beneficial for the situation.
Okay. And right now, what is your age?
My,
I know.
I am 80 plus now.
Correct age.
Correct age is 30, 82,
82. Okay. That means you were born in
running in 83rd now.
83rd running.
Yeah.
Okay. And as you look back, what were the turning points? Like from the childhood, you did your graduation, and there might be certain turning points which made you think, like, I should do this. This will lead me to some other better positions. What was that turning point? What I'm trying to ask.
I think luck played a very crucial role. Turning point was that I had a very, very good family background.
We had a discussion.
For
on this
example,
earlier.
yes.
Yeah.
So that I had already explained to you.
But I would definitely love to
You
have
like to
this.
have the details.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. I was born into the family where my grandfather, one of the grandfather was a barrister.
Okay.
The other in the High Court of Lahore. The other was principal of a medical college. He had come from London
Okay.
after qualifying his.
So this is the reason
So,
because
and all our fathers, uncles, and everybody in the family was highly qualified. Nobody was a simple graduate.
yeah, this is the sorry to interrupt
This
you.
was the family background. This was the family background which enabled us to acquire certain experiences in our young age, in our childhood, to acquire those things with our family members. So that brought about a sea change in the attitude what we had.
Okay.
So we said graduation is just nothing. We have to specialize in something,
Okay.
and with specialization you have to cover various other fields also. Like I told you last time, I had got no admission anywhere in Delhi University when I first joined the job.
Yes.
So I got an opportunity. I went to the university one fine day when I was off from my job. They said the only thing available is in foreign languages, and you will have 2 classes a week. I said, what are the languages? They said Spanish is the only course which is not full. So I said, okay, I'll join Spanish.
Okay.
I learned Spanish for a year. And since there were only 2 classes a week, so there was no problem.
Okay.
Then again, when I completed this, evening classes also I joined. After some time, when I came from Bombay, there was a journalism course, Indian Institute of Journalism. I said, since I have come back, I will not be able to now join this semester.
Okay.
I started learning that journalism. I joined that institute also. So with family background, you are fine enough to go into any area of specialization, and you have the wherewithal with which you can pursue those courses.
Okay.
So that is how I did journalism also. So what those qualifications and what those qualities what you wanted to know was, very important is your family background. If you come from a highly qualified family background, that goes a long way in helping you in taking decisions.
Okay.
And those decisions are what you should do under the given circumstances. So, whatever the circumstances, we did it.
Okay, and we can also relate this to like you were working
Sure.
within the different sectors.
Sure.
How I'm going to relate this is, let's suppose I'm an engineer and we are going to enter into totally different field. So can this example be related with you?
Certainly, certainly. Because we had to coordinate between the engineering department, the finance department, the technical department. HRD is one area. Human resource development, or what you call is personnel management. You have to manage all those personnel. You have to manage engineers, finance people, technical people. So that is how you acquire certain knowledge about engineering also,
Okay.
certain knowledge about finance also, certain knowledge about technical also. So that is very helpful.
Okay.
That is how you feel confident.
Mhm.
That helps you in taking certain decisions which have your experience of all these areas.
Mhm.
It's not very difficult.
Yeah, and talking about the decisions, we make certain choices. We go for jobs, open our own companies.
Yeah.
There are many people, and the startup. We open many startups, and this requires managing your investments also, financial expenses. So, how you manage everything according in specific terms of financially?
Financially, basically, I think I have been very lucky.
Mm-hmm.
With the family background I gave,
Mm-hmm.
it was no problem so far as money was concerned.
But for
Initially.
those, but for those,
But after joining my service, since I became independent, I had service also. And my wife was also, I was lucky enough to have a wife. She was also highly qualified and working also. So she gave me a. So I never had any difficulty so far as finance is concerned. But to manage your finance in these times is definitely a difficult job
okay.
because of various factors. So you have to be a little sagacious. There, when I had joined my accounts job in the railways,
Okay.
and I had qualified also
Mm-hmm.
2 examinations. Those were the courses which made me eligible to become a qualified accountant also, or accounts officer also. So that also, that basic inputs gave me the right background to handle my finances also. So there was no problem.
But for those
But
who are
you-
struggling, basically.
Who are struggling, they must learn how to handle those things. They have to be very cautious about their finances. Unless your finances are there, it would be very difficult in life to progress. You have to, with your passing age, you have to get married also, you have to rear your children also, you have to educate them also, you have to make provisions for everything.
Okay.
So you should be a good management expert in finance as well in life.
Okay.
This is one part which is very important.
Okay. And you mentioned that you have to be very particular about taking your decisions in the finances also while getting married. I have seen, and my friends also say this: once I will settle down, then only I will get married. So, what do you have to say on this?
You see, there is a time for everything. There is an age for everything. If you are not getting something done at the right time, if you don't hit the nail at the head at the right time, it will not work for you. It will bring some problems which you will find very difficult to manage later on.
Okay.
So you should learn how to do something, how to make balance in what you are doing. Balance is a factor which you have to be in every age, every time, every area.
Okay, so what is the particular age that you are talking about?
That is how you suit, how it suits you.
No,
You have
but-
your own priorities. Now I am seeing so many people delay marriage.
Yeah, this is what I was about
So
to come.
I have come across various cases where people delay marriages,
Mm-hmm.
and later on it becomes very difficult to find suitable mates. And then when it becomes difficult to make adjustments with the other person, with your life partner,
Mm-hmm.
then it becomes difficult to have children.
Yeah.
At late age, when you marry, adjustment is one problem. That is how you see so many divorces these days.
Mm-hmm.
In our times, we had never heard of any divorce
Okay.
because adjustment was easy and we had married at the right time, at the right age. Plus, what we had was joint families where we could be very free. Our children would be taken care of by our grandfathers, grandmothers,
Mm-hmm.
chachis, and mummies, and all those. These were joint families.
Mm-hmm.
Now there are nuclear families. If your wife is working, there is a problem. If your wife is not working, finance is a problem.
Yeah.
So if you don't marry late, you say, "Bhai, let me settle down in career first and then I'll think of marrying."
Mm-hmm.
You lose your youth.
Mm-hmm.
You lose your capacity to make adjustment with the other person. And since she had come from, or she would come from, a different family background, it will be very difficult for you to make adjustments.
Mm-hmm.
Unless until you have a support with your family,
Mm-hmm.
say mother, grandmother, father, grandfather, uncles, and all those, it will be very difficult to make adjustments. And if you wait for the time that you will settle down, you might be over that age, and it will be very difficult to make adjustments. Then you have to first make adjustment according to the requirement of the situation. Then you will have problem in getting your children. भाई तो ठीक नहीं है बच्चे नहीं होने चाहिए शादी के 2-3 साल बाद हम पहले एडजस्टमेंट कर लें अब एडजस्ट ही ना हुए तो बच्चे कौन पालेगा बिकॉज इट्स ए न्यूक्लियर फैमिली यू फाइंड इट वेरी डिफिकल्ट
Like we go to North India, the culture is still there. But if we are going to Mumbai or the South, mostly the metro cities, we see this a lot that both the couples are working, grandparents and they are living in their own village or very far away, so that they cannot handle. Plus the expenses are very big.
Obviously in metro towns the problems are very difficult to handle. Most of the children I am seeing in our families or near about families, they have gone abroad. They have become specialists.
Mm-hmm.
They have become about 35, around 35.
Okay.
They find it very difficult to find good mates.
Mhm.
And if at that age they find certain suitable, then they find it very difficult to make adjustments.
Mhm.
They have to travel 20-30 kilometers daily, morning and evening. They have no time for each other. Then comes the question of children.
Mhm.
They don't want children. They don't want children at all.
Mhm.
The very purpose of your social life and the family and all that is defeated.
Mhm.
And once they get a child, they seek the help of their mother or mother-in-law or something. कि भाई बच्चा होने वाला है आप आइए.
Mhm.
It is very difficult.
Right.
So life becomes imbalanced. Balance in life is very necessary.
Okay.
You should do something right at the right time. Maybe marriage, maybe child, maybe anything.
Mhm.
Balance is the key in life. If you don't have balance in something, the other part will be
Disturb or.
disturbed,
Mhm.
obviously.
Mhm.
And once it is disturbed, it will disturb you as well as your partner.
Correct. Correct. And it will ultimately lead the whole effect.
Ultimately, it will be creating problems which will be very difficult to handle
Mhm.
later on. Children in the right old age, you see, conception becomes a problem.
Mm-hmm.
I have a friend who married after 40.
So at the age of 40, he was getting married.
He was above 40.
Okay.
His wife was also about 42.
Okay.
Other things being equal, they decided to marry.
Mm-hmm.
They married. Conception, 5 years they waited and there was no conception. Ultimately, they had to go in for IVF.
Okay.
That is in vitro fertilization, as
Mhm.
you know. Then what happened? The child was born and it was deformed.
Okay.
They had to hire a nurse for the child.
Mm-hmm.
Their life became a hell.
Okay.
Now, these are the problems when imbalance in life creates.
Hmm.
So, that is why it is very important to have balance in everything you do.
Hmm. And during our 20s, we don't think about this a lot because we are more worried about getting a job. We don't see a future very clearly. But when we enter the age of, let's suppose, 28 to 35.
When you reach 30, your chances of getting adjustment and getting a good partner become lesser and lesser. Girl, suppose she is working
Mm-hmm.
and she is not settled down in her career up to 25,
Okay.
it will be very difficult for her.
Mm-hmm.
So ultimately, the basic requirement is that you should have balance in life. Suppose you are not very highly qualified at this juncture and you are not settled in your career.
Mm-hmm.
Later on, it will become very difficult to adjust in life.
Okay.
You may be earning a little less now,
Mm-hmm.
but when you want your life partner also to earn, she also has some requirements which you have to meet with. You have to meet those requirements also. It becomes a joint venture, no?
Mm-hmm.
Family is a joint venture.
Yeah.
Now, joint families are not there.
Mm-hmm.
And if joint families are not there, you don't have the support of your mother or your nani or your dadi or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You find it very difficult to bring up children.
Mm-hmm.
And normally, what is happening is that people have only one child, have only two children.
Mm, correct.
During those times when we were young, we used to have three brothers and three sisters, four brothers and five sisters. So this was the right family to grow up with. Now the problem with a single child is that he is not emotionally and socially fit to mingle with people.
Okay.
These are the problems which are self created.
But coming back to this, having 4 to 5 children, the expenses are obviously expenses will be increased
Obviously, you should see to your budget also
before making children.
before making.
Like
Now
family planning.
you are lucky enough. You can plan your children as and when you want.
Mm-hmm.
But there is a age for them. Then again comes the balance.
Okay.
If you don't have that balance,
Mm-hmm.
it will be difficult later on.
Mm-hmm. This question is very valid for those like who are designers working in the job, who are single
All
person.
those, all such people who are concentrating only on career.
Mm-hmm.
My advice or my experience in life says that you should have balance.
Okay.
You may be earning a little less now,
Mm-hmm.
but with passage of time, with progress in career, you will get that at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
But if you skip your marriage or if you delay your marriage, the other problems you might find it very difficult to handle later on, and there will be no solution for that.
Okay.
At that stage, you will not find any solution,
Mm-hmm.
and out of frustration, you start कि भाई अब मेरा नहीं गुजारा मैं तो इससे डाइवोर्स ले लेना ये तो मेरे को एडजस्ट ही नहीं करता You should have balance. You should have reasonable balance. If you have a little, say, 2, 3 children,
Mm-hmm.
you don't expect that every child will be a doctor or an engineer or a specialist or like that.
Mm-hmm.
Let them have their own luck. Let them have their own career.
Mm-hmm.
Let them grow up in a situation where they are they become good citizens first. Later on, they'll become good family members. and later on they will become good adults.
Okay.
So this is essential.
Okay, and this will be the perfect example for the people who are thinking to get married.
Yes, definitely, for everybody. Even a student should start thinking about his age, about his goals in life, about what he wants to do, what he wants to achieve.
Let's suppose I'm in my 20s, not in the 20s, like I've just completed my second year of my graduation, and there are many years ahead. What should be
By 30, I think by 20, after 25 you should start thinking of settling in
and
marriage.
before 25 and
You should concentrate on your career,
okay.
obviously,
Mhm.
because this is a time of specialization.
Mhm.
You should first specialize, then settle in your career, and then think about marriage. Side by side, you should start thinking about it.
Okay, and what would you advise to those people who are running a business or struggling with their business, or even who are successful?
First of all, I would say that you should have a little acumen for business. You should have the aptitude to be a businessman first.
Okay.
But business should not be only to earn money.
Mm-hmm.
It should have social goals, it should have personal goals, it should have community goals, and all those.
Mm-hmm.
Business at any level is competitive.
Correct.
And if you have to compete, you should be a little above
So how can,
above the others.
How? Please give me an example for this.
You should be qualified to have business. Now it is not very difficult. You can have finance loans from banks and other institutions, and the government, as a matter of policy, is encouraging self-employment.
Mm-hmm.
Atmanirbhar
Mm-hmm.
is the basis on which business is also
Correct.
done. But for business, basically, you should have the acumen. You should have the wherewithal with which you can establish your business.
Mm-hmm.
You should be qualified enough to be a businessman. For that, you have to have management courses are also there. All around, you see, business management is a course. You can do it. Otherwise, you can have if you are from a family which is already a businessman, successful businessman family, you have certain traits within yourself which you have acquired in your family itself.
Okay.
Otherwise, you have to have training. Otherwise, you have to have work with a businessman to know the inner qualities of a businessman. Then you should have finance and all those things if you want to achieve success in business, which is basically a competitive job.
Okay.
And then you should have that area of interest where you are to develop your business. What sort of a business you are. Basically, every sphere in life is business itself. Selling, there are various disciplines involved in business. Now it depends on what business you want. You should have knowledge about that. Various qualifications, various courses, various other things are there through which you can learn a lot about business, being a successful businessman. So you should have that basic infrastructure and all that, basic qualifications, basic traits, basic attitudes, which is confined to one acumen for business. If you have that, you can succeed. And which stage of business you want to enter, how you will manage it, how you will grow your business, how you will prosper in business, and what you want to achieve in business, what are your goals in business, that you have to define. And think about basically right from the beginning what you want in life. If you are doing business, you want to be something in life. That you have to have an objective in life, that I want to be a businessman for this thing, for achieving this thing,
Okay.
for achieving wealth, for achieving social status, for achieving you say social upliftment.
Okay.
What for you are doing business, or what for you want to do business, is also equally very important. Suppose you want to do business only to earn wealth, that is different.
Okay.
If you want to earn wealth as well as uplift the family or uplift the society, that is different. If you want to uplift the poor and do business also, that's another area. The fields are different.
Okay.
You should be qualified for anything or everything. But basic qualities are that you should be a good human being. You should be a good social person.
Okay.
You should be very amiable to work with all those people. So these are the qualities and these are the objectives which you have to first of all settle down, that I want this. What I want is the basic requirement. Once you have decided what you want to do, what you want to achieve, then you can go on and acquire those skills, acquire those qualifications, acquire those inputs, and then only you can succeed. But basically, you have to yourself know what I want to do. Once you settle for that, you decide that, it will be how to achieve it. Set your goals, then chart out the ways how to achieve those. You may find 3, 4, 5, 6 methods of achieving those, and you have to work on all those areas. So business is basically managing things, but you should have your goals first.
So having a clarity in mind with the goals, that this is what I want to achieve, and then analyze, examine everything, and then go on your journey.
Make arrangements. Make arrangements for each and every factor which comes into play in achieving those goals of business.
And as you have spent so many things, met with so many people, your family background is very good. So what are the major values that you have lived by?
Basically, I would say sincerity, then truthfulness, then doing good to anybody or everybody. These are the three things which basically require you to develop.
Okay. And how do you define success?
Success can be defined in a way that you go along with others to achieve what you want particularly.
Okay.
Without annoying anybody, without harming anybody, without getting ill treatment from anybody, getting appreciation from all those who come in touch with or come in contact with. Whenever you go in, why should you not win the other person? And you should have the ability to carry him along with you. If you carry him along with you, he may be helpful in achieving your goals. And if you annoy a person, obviously he will not stand by you.
Correct. And how you were in your childhood? We have discussed about your graduation and everything else. So let's go a little back, and then we'll wrap up everything.
Had a very royal childhood, I would say. We were short of nothing, were short of anything. We never had any shortages, any difficulties in getting what we wanted.
And you were naughty or mischievous?
No, not very naughty, not very mischievous also.
Okay.
But we, as children, I would say we were never a child.
Okay.
Only child was never a child. So we were all together. Joint families were there. So as joint family children, we used to have very, very good time, very enjoyable time. 4, 5 brothers, 4, 5 sisters of almost equal age with a variation of 4, 5 years each. So Obviously, with my family background, we used to go to a hill station in summers for about 3 months. We have visited almost all hill stations in India and abroad also, a few. So, what we, as our childhood, we were very lucky, very happy childhood. Very good childhood, I would say. I would say we were very lucky in having that childhood.
Okay. And how do you see like your childhood and now you are having grandchildren's? How do you see the difference or the quality of living?
Quality of living has definitely undergone a sea change.
Mm-hmm.
We used to have a group of children in the family.
Okay.
Now there are only two children. My son has two sons. Their age is 5 years apart. One is grown up, the other is in studies, in school. Then I have my second child. He is having only one daughter. No, she has no companion. So what would I say? It's very difficult. Those were the lucky times when we used to have. I remember a very good example. Since my wife was a teacher, she took one of her sons to school. The students and teachers asked him, "भाई आप कितने बहन भाई हो?" He would say, "We are four five brothers, 4 5 भाई बहन. हम 4 5 भाई बहन हैं." Everybody used to get startled. What is this? मैडम तो कहती मेरे 2 ही बच्चे हैं और ये कहता है हम 4 भाई बहन हैं. तो अल्टीमेटली माई वाइफ वॉज आस्क्ड टू क्लैरिफाई, भाई ये क्या चक्कर है? आप तो कहते हो मेरे 2 बच्चे हैं, वो बच्चा आपका कहता है हम 4 भाई बहन हैं. तो देन यू वुड से कि वी आर इन ए जॉइंट फैमिली एंड ऑल दोज ब्रदर्स आर देयर. दे सेड they are brothers and sisters. So obviously that scenario is now no more there. So their childhood is deprived of so many experiences which we very richly deserved, or every child should have those. Their character building becomes only with interaction with other children, which is rare now. So that is the difficulty. It is not a perfect childhood these days with nuclear families with only 1 or 2 children. It is very difficult.
This was very thoughtful and like will definitely change many people's life.
Many people's
Many.
life, and the children don't want to make adjustments, and that is why there are so many. These are the causes, one of the causes of divorces also. This is one of the psychological outcomes of the upbringing of those children in nuclear families.
Right.
Experts also say so. They don't want to adjust with anything. But this is what we could learn as group children, as 4 5 children each. Every day there used to be some problems and adjustments had to be made.
And I think I can go on and on without, but I have to take a stop on this because right now I'm also feeling very confident and I have achieved something in life today and it will be definitely remembered. So sorry to stop.
I hope it will be very helpful to you as well as others also. But you kindly feel free whenever you feel like.
Sure.
I am there to help you out. And with my experience of lifetime experience, I can throw light on anything and everything.
Yeah, definitely.
Social, family, friendship, all those things. We have friends with 50 years of friendship, or more even, or even more.
Correct.
And anytime you feel any sort of help from me, you are welcome.
Sure.
And even if you want to have help from others of my age or my group, feel free. I can arrange for you anything and everything. The people come from various backgrounds. People come from various fields, like engineering, like doctors, like various teachers, technical teachers. So feel free. If you feel like enrich your experience and enrich experience of others' lives, feel free to come anytime.
Correct, correct. And today I will not end this show. I want you to end this show in your own way. So what we usually say is, thank you for watching. Do subscribe. Follow us on Instagram. So I want this thing from your end to come out. Whatever you feel like, and whatever message you want to give to our listeners. What the main advice that you have been following your entire life? So let's end it.
What I would say or suggest is that we should have more such experiences, and as long as we interact, we are human beings. We are not loners. Society is becoming loners only. I would say that there should be much more interaction with fellow people, with others, with the various people. That will enrich your life. That will make your life meaningful. That will make your life more pleasant. That will bring in more experiences, and you will become a better human being in society. And that is the very purpose of being a human being.
And this is the perfect way to end the show. So,
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Grateful that you gave me an opportunity to express my thoughts or feelings or whatever, my experiences. But that will be anytime you feel free, I am here to help you.
definitely, definitely. So let's say this thing together or one by one.
Oh, yes.
Okay. So follow us on. It's like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
Oh, sure, sure.
You have to say this.
I have to say this.
Yeah.
Follow
Us on
us on this Instagram, Facebook,
Twitter.
or Twitter, or any other means you feel free or you feel comfortable with.
And if you like this show, if you like this podcast, or any other questions, do comment down below.
Kindly feel free to ask any questions which interest you, which you have come across this interview or in this podcast. Whatever you feel you want to clarify, I'll be happy to clarify. Anytime you feel.
Thank you. Thanks a lot for this.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for
Thank
everything. Yeah.
And wish you all the best in life.
Thank you.